Hi 7th graders, this is lesson 8.4. Our learning target is solving equations with variables on both sides. Okay, so we've been working with equations that have a variable on one side, and our goal always is to solve for the variable, or to figure out what value would make the variable true in order to make the equation true. So that's still our goal. Still, we need to figure out what the variable is, or what it equals to make our equation true. So the first thing we do, so if we have 8 plus 4d equals 5d, the first thing that we do is make our railroad tracks. Okay? And then we know that, or what we want to do is we need to figure out, because we need to get the variables onto one side and the numbers, or the constants, on another side. Okay? So what I would do, since I already have a number over here, I would take away 4d on both sides. Because if I take away 4d over here, that's going to make that go away. But because I'm doing that on one side, I have to do it on the other side. So now I'm left with 8 equals 5 minus 4 is 1d. So it's just d. So then we can rewrite it as d equals 8. Okay? And then if we put that back in, 8 plus 4 times 8, so 4 times 8 is 32, plus 8 is 40. 5 times 8 is 40, so then we know that it checks and it works. Okay, if we have 8a equals 5a plus 21, I can see that I have variables again on both sides. My number, my constant, is on this side, so I'm going to first try to get my variables onto the left side. So I'm going to subtract 5a, and 5a stays together. And the reason why I'm taking away 5a again is because it's going to get rid of all that. Okay? But the reason why I can subtract it from 8a is because they are like terms. 8a and 5a are like terms, so we know that 8a minus 5a equals 3a. Okay? Notice that I'm only taking 5a from my 5a, because 21 minus 5a would be 21 minus 5a. You cannot combine those because those are different terms. So that's why I'm writing it, and it helps to keep it organized, and it helps me to remember if I write it right underneath which one I'm taking it away from. So I have 3a, and then I still have my 21, so I'm going to bring it down. And then we know that to get rid of our 3, we're going to divide by 3. So we have a equals 7. 8 times 7 is 56, and then we have 5 times 7 is 35, plus 21 is 56, so we know that it checks, because I'm putting 7 back in for a and making sure that it works. Okay, if we have 5n plus 9 equals 2n, I like to draw my railroad tracks so it's nice and neat. I have my 2n over here, so I'm going to take away 5n on both sides. Now there's different ways to solve this, and different ways that people would go about doing it. You would still get the same answer no matter if you did move your 2n over to this side, you would still get the same answer. But 5n minus 5n is 0. Notice how I lined it up right underneath it, and I just left my 9 alone. So I'm not even going to touch that right now. So 9 equals 2 minus 5n. So 2 minus 5 is negative 3n. Then I divide both sides by negative 3. By negative 3. 9 divided by negative 3 equals negative 3. equals n, because 3 divided by negative 3 is n. So n equals negative 3. And then you can put that back in and check it. Okay, here we have a variable and a number on both sides. So now we have to figure out which way are we going to go with each one. So we have 6n minus 1 equals 4n minus 5. So first we need to make sure that our variable is on one side and our number is on the other side. So because 4n is less than 6n, it would be easier for me to move my 4 to this side. So therefore I'm going to move my 1 to this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take away 4n on both sides. So 6n minus 4n is 2n. Keep my 1 for now. 2n minus 1 equals, because 4n minus 4n now is gone, I bring this down, but because it's subtracting 5, my negative sign goes with it, so negative 5. Now I need to get my number over to the other side. Subtracting 1, the opposite is adding 1, minus or negative 1 plus 1 is 0, so plus 1. So we have 2n, and then negative 5 plus 1 equals negative 4. So 2n equals negative 4. Divide both sides by 2. So n equals negative 2. Okay, let's do 2 more. 3x minus 7 equals 8x plus 23. Okay, this time I can see, well, it might make more sense for me to move my 3x over to here and then move my 23 over to here. It might get a little tricky with negatives, but we'll see how it works. So I'm going to subtract 3x on both sides. Oops. So I have negative 7 equals 5x plus 23. So now I'm going to subtract 23 on both sides, because remember my goal is to get this x alone. So I'm taking things that are furthest away or most distant from my x. So 23 isn't even attached to x, so I'm getting rid of that first. So minus 23. Negative 7 minus 23 is negative 30. And then I have 5x left, because that got rid of each other. So negative 30 equals 5x. Divide both sides by 5. Negative 30 divided by 5 is negative 8. So negative 8 equals x. Okay? 7y minus 8. I want you to pause me and do this one on your own, and then come back and check. So we have 7y minus 8 equals 6y plus 1. I'm going to go with getting rid of 6y on both sides. 7y minus 6y is y minus 8 equals 1. That got rid of each other. Bring that whole thing down. Bring that down. Okay, y minus 8 equals 1, so we want to get rid of 8, so we're just going to add 8 to both sides. So then y equals 9. The cellular phone provider charges $24.95 per month plus 10 cents per minute for calls. Another cellular provider charges $19.95 per month plus 20 cents per minute for calls. For how many minutes of calls is the monthly cost of both providers the same? So if we look at this first provider, we know that it's $24.95 a month plus 10 cents per minute. The other one, and we want to know when they're equal, so the other one then is $19.95 plus 20 cents per minute. Okay, so we are going to solve. So now that I've set up the equation for you, pause me and solve it really fast. Okay? So we have $24.95 plus 10 cents per minute equals $19.95 plus 20 cents per minute. So I'm going to subtract $19.95 on both sides. So $24.95 minus $19.95 would be $5. And then we have plus, 10 cents per minute that cancels out, equals 20 cents per minute. Oh, I'm writing horribly. Okay, so now we're going to subtract our 10 cents per minute. And I'm sorry, before I got rid of my variable first, but this time I got rid of the number. It doesn't matter the order that you go. So we're going to subtract because we want to get our variable over to this side. So we're going to subtract 10 cents or 0.10 M from each side. So that cancels out. We have 5 equals, and then 0.20 minus 0.1 would be 0.10 or 10 cents a minute. Equals 5. So this is asking us how many minutes of calls is the monthly cost the same. So then you could go 5, or you would go divided by 10 cents per, or divide both sides, sorry, by 0.10 or by 10 cents. And then we know that there would be, if it's 10 cents per minute, then we know that it's 10 calls per minute, and and then 5 equals 5, so it would be 50 minutes. So M equals 50 minutes. I hope that's right because I don't have my calculator nearby me. All right, so there is 8-4. If you have questions or you're struggling still with 8-4, because I know this is confusing, you can look at your book more, and we'll continue to go over it in class more as well. If you have not taken the 8-4 NAICU quiz, then you need to do that as well. Have a super evening.